Today we're going to do something super fun, something we have never done before on my podcast. We're going to break down the 25 most popular supplements people are taking right now, and we're doing it tier list style. This is going to be so much fun, and it will be brutally educational because over-supplementation is real, and most people are taking things that don't make sense for their body. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see the tier list as we build it. If you're just listening on audio, I dropped a link in the show notes so you can download the final tier list and follow along. You're welcome. Now, you can skip to the end and just grab the tier list, but I don't recommend that. Supplements are not just about buying the wrong brand, though that does matter, and more on that in a bit. They matter because you could be using them without strategy or context. We need to dig deeper. This is very nuanced. I highly recommend partnering with somebody you trust because there is a sea of sharks, my friend, all pitching the same bullshit. If you're new here, I'm Tara, nurse practitioner, holistic nutritionist, and functional medicine practitioner. I help people with autoimmune disease and chronic symptoms get their life back by uncovering what's actually happening under the surface, not by piling on more pills. Before we get started, I need to state that these are my opinions, and you should speak with your practitioner prior to starting or stopping any supplement regimen because they can actually interact with each other or other medications if you take medications. Quick note, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this banger of an episode, I know I'm gonna get 100 comments asking, okay, Tara, but which brands do you actually recommend? So I made it simple for you. I put my favorite practitioner grade supplements inside my Fullscript dispensary. If you want to see quality brands that I actually trust, I'll link it in the description. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get into it. I'm going to pull up my tier list. This is going to be so fun. Again, this is something I have I've never done before. So here is our tier list. I have all of the supplements below the list, and it's going to be graded S, A, B, C, D. So the S tier, this is the category with the strongest evidence for effectiveness and safety. A is effective, not as well supported as the S tier, but if you think of it like school, A is amazing. The B tier, moderately effective, might have promising aspects. The C tier, limited evidence or effectiveness, or even I think of it as confusion or conflicting information. And the D tier is going to be our lowest minimal effectiveness or even potential risks. I usually do not recommend anything that is in the D category. Of course, there are always caveats. First up on the list is magnesium. Magnesium is required for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body. Most people are deficient because of stress, poor diet, medications, and soil depletion. It supports sleep quality, muscle relaxation, blood sugar regulation, and nervous system recovery. This is one of the few supplements that is truly foundational. Magnesium comes in about a dozen different forms, and people overcomplicate it, so I'm gonna make it simple and give you 3 that actually matter. Do you have a pen and paper handy? You probably wanna grab one because this is going to be very important. The first is magnesium citrate. If you're not going to the bathroom every day, this is a good place to start. Magnesium can be taken to bowel tolerance, meaning if things open up too much, you went too far. Citrate pulls water into the colon, so it helps get things moving along without harsh laxatives. The second is magnesium glycinate. This is the most universally helpful form. I recommend it for nervous system regulation, stress, muscle recovery, and better sleep. I personally take it before bed, and it has made a real difference for me and many of my patients and clients. The third is magnesium threonate. This is the premium option. Studies suggest that it crosses the blood-brain barrier and can support mood, cognition, and even brain inflammation. Every single person I've put on this has noticed a difference, not one exception. I do want to remind you I have never done this before, so I might make mistakes with the way I'm doing this, but I feel magnesium absolutely belongs in the S tier because it is foundational. Magnesium is something most people would probably benefit from. 40–50% of people are deficient anyway, because it would be very hard to overdo magnesium. I am a fan of it. That being said, again, partner with your practitioner, and I never recommend taking ridiculous amounts. Less is actually better, in my opinion. Next on the list, iodine. Iodine is not the enemy, but the way it's used online is a problem. I've seen both extremes. People trying to cleanse all iodine out of their life, and people taking dangerously high doses because someone online told them it would heal their thyroid. Both are wrong, and both can wreak havoc on your health. Iodine is required for thyroid hormone production, but too much or too little can trigger problems. Studies suggest that high-dose iodine can potentially worsen autoimmunity. If you are a fellow autoimmune warrior, if you've been diagnosed with Graves' disease or Hashimoto's, you need to hear this. Are you currently suffering with Hashimoto's? Have you been told there is nothing you can do? Are you tired of the never-ending fatigue, anxiety, brain fog, weight loss resistance? I put together a masterclass where I outline the top 3 discoveries that changed my life, and I talk about the 4 primary triggers of immune dysfunction that led us on this dysfunctional pathway to begin with, and what we can do about it. For now, I'm offering this masterclass for free because I know what it's like to keep searching for answers and come up empty-handed. Comment down below masterclass if you are watching on YouTube, and I will send you the link. If you're just listening to the audio, the link is in the show notes. Now, back to today's episode. Iodine restriction is also a problem and can impact thyroid function, which naturally will make fatigue worse. This is not something to mess around with. This is not a supplement you take because someone said it worked for them. You test, not guess. There are different ways of testing iodine, but one of my favorite is a urine test to really see like what's happening inside of your body. And I'm also not a fan of a one and done. Test one time and that's good enough. I like to do like serial testing, not the kind you eat, friends. I like more than one value so I can better ascertain what's actually happening inside of the body. Because of the nuances with the iodine, because I have literally spoken to dozens of women, either taking ridiculous amounts and having significant health ramifications because of it, or trying to suck every bit of iodine out of their body because they were told by some guru on Facebook or somewhere else online that iodine is the enemy. Neither one of these camps I agree with. I'm gonna place iodine in the D category. This does not mean I am against iodine. Please know when you see a printout of this sheet, this doesn't mean I don't agree with the supplement. It means there are nuances about it. Be sure to stay all the way to the end so you really understand the why behind where it's added on the list, and you don't just grab your list and use that as your shopping list or your garbage list. Next up, omega-3 fish oil. Omega-3s are some of the most researched supplements in the world. EPA and DHA support brain health, heart health, joint health, and are vitally important to keep inflammatory balance in check. If you're interested in diving even deeper into the omega-3 to 6 ratio, go into the archives and listen or re-listen to episode 39. Most people are not getting enough omega-3s from diet alone, even if they eat cold water fish. I am a seafood eater. I supplement with omega-3. When it comes to supplementation, quality matters. Well, with all supplements, but in particular this one, there is a lot of garbage fish oil out on the market. Rancid fish oil drives inflammation. It does not reduce it. Look for triglyceride form, not ethyl ester, as the triglyceride form is more bioavailable and not synthetic like the ethyl ester variety. Always check for third-party purity testing to avoid heavy metals. Omega-3s are a powerhouse, but you still cannot supplement your way out of a garbage diet. I'm gonna put fish oil in category S because it is foundational. My preferred method is cod liver oil. I do feel, even though I eat freshwater fish, I eat a lot of salmon, it is so vitally important for our health, but I do want to remind you that we need a balance between omega-3 and omega-6, so more is not always better. Next up, zinc. Zinc is important for immune function, hormone production, and skin health. But zinc is also one of the most misunderstood and overused supplements on the market. People love to megadose zinc every time they get sick. Minerals do not work best in isolation. Rather, they perform optimally when we switch our thinking to ratios. Taking too much zinc can throw off the balance needed between zinc and copper. The CDC on their website says this about taking too much zinc. Ingesting high levels of zinc for several months may cause anemia, damage the pancreas, and decrease levels of high-density lipoprotein, that is the good cholesterol. Now, they're talking about very high toxic levels of zinc, but even non-toxic levels of zinc can have a negative downstream effect because of the potential imbalance with other minerals. I am a fan of zinc, and it can be helpful if you're sick or have skin issues, but when dosing, it's important to consider the impact on the rest of the ecosystem. Where should we put zinc? It is very important. Should we put it in the A tier? I actually think I'm going to put it in the B tier. It is a very important nutrient, but we're going to get into this in just a bit. Do we really need to separate out all of these nutrients? Because that can be problematic in and of itself. Next up, berberine. Berberine is a very hot topic. Studies have suggested it can be helpful for those with diabetes, PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome, metabolic syndrome, hyperlipidemia, liver disease, and even cancer. Most of the time, I hear people using it as a more natural metformin, and I do like it for that. But what people don't talk enough about is the impact on the gut microbiome. Berberine has antimicrobial properties and can help reduce bacterial overgrowth and dysbiosis. It also supports a healthier gut environment by increasing short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. This matters because blood sugar issues and gut issues are often connected. You cannot correct metabolic dysfunction if your gut is inflamed. The studies suggest that the mechanism by which this impacts the gut is the why behind it being so helpful with the list of diseases I just spoke about. Berberine is powerful, but is it the miracle we've all been after? The jury is still out on that, but I do feel it is compelling enough that I take it. It is so important to remember we need to zoom out and see the whole picture. I run gut testing on myself periodically to see what's really going on in there. On the first test I ran, it showed I had very low short-chain fatty acids, in particular butyrate. We did a whole show on the power of short-chain fatty acids when we had Dr. Heather Zawicki on. Go into the archives and search for that show. It was a good one. I didn't start supplementing with butyrate or berberine then. Instead, I looked to Nature's Pharmacy food. I increased all of the colorful fruits and vegetables filled with phytonutrients and was able to improve my gut naturally. So, why do I take berberine? If you're interested in that answer and learning more about berberine, let me know and I will plan a full dedicated episode. In the meantime, where should we put our friend berberine? I don't think everybody needs to take berberine, so I'm going to put it in the B category because we also need more science for this. So I'm going to put it there for now. I reserve the right to change my mind about that at a later date. Next on the list, multivitamin. A multivitamin is not a magic pill, but I actually think most people should be taking one. There is a caveat. it has to be the right kind. Most multivitamins on the market are trash. They're underdosed, poorly absorbed, and loaded with fillers and synthetic forms your body does not use well. This is why so many people say multivitamins didn't do anything for me. Yeah, because they're taking the wrong kind. A good multivitamin is not meant to replace real food, but it can fill in the gaps created by modern farming, soil depletion, stress, and processed food culture. It supports what you are already building with nutrition, not instead of it. But here's where people go wrong. You cannot just grab a random one a day and call it good. You need a formula that does not hide behind proprietary blends. I am not a fan of multis with added iron unless you know you need iron, and even then, you may not always need it and it's dose dependent. It's also important to pay attention to all of the ingredients in the multi. So many patients come to see me on a multi and then they're also taking B12, zinc, and selenium, and it's also in the multi. Think quality and be sure you are not supplement stacking. I could put this in the A tier, but I think I'm gonna put it in the S tier instead. It is foundational. Remember, friends, this is my opinion, but I do feel most people would probably benefit from taking a high quality one. How are you feeling right now? Are you agreeing, vibing with what I'm throwing down over here, or what is the saying? Are you picking up what I'm throwing down? Do you agree, disagree? Let's get the comment section going. If you're here for the premiere, let's chat about it. I would love to know, am I on the right track here? Not? Let me know. Next up, folic acid. Many people believe that folic acid is folate, which is vitamin B9. It's not. Folic acid is a cheap, synthetic form used in fortified foods and low-quality supplements. Your body has to convert folic acid into usable folate, and a lot of people do not convert it well. If you have MTHFR mutations or methylation issues, folic acid can actually block folate receptors. That means folic acid can make you more deficient in folate over time. This matters if you're dealing with fatigue, depression, fertility struggles, postpartum depletion, or autoimmune disease. Folate is essential, but folic acid is not the answer. Let me be clear. I'm not saying everyone should go grab a methylated B complex and call it a day. High-dose methylated vitamins can make some people feel worse, anxious, wired, irritable, heart palpitations, because it speeds up biochemical pathways they are not ready for. Natural folate found in food is always a smart foundation. When I think of folate, I think of foliage like dark leafy greens, avocados, asparagus, liver, legumes. Supplementation can help, but it is not a one-size-fits-all. This is why I recommend working with someone who understands methylation and can look at the full picture, not just throw random B vitamins at symptoms. I'm going to place folic acid in the category D. Now, there are caveats we're not going to get into in this video, but folic acid is in literally almost everything. Packaged, that is. Think kids' cereals. I hate that word fortified because it usually means a bunch of synthetic chemicals. We will build on this as we get into B12 and B complex coming up next, because this is where things get really juicy. Next up, vitamin B12. B12 is one of the most misunderstood supplements. Most people think fatigue means they need more B12, but low B12 is not always a B12 problem. Your body needs stomach acid and intrinsic factor to absorb B12. So, if you have gut issues, low stomach acid, SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, H. pylori, or you're taking acid blockers, you can take all the B12 you want and still be deficient because you're not absorbing it. This is why so many people feel a short boost when they start taking B12, but it doesn't last. They never address the reason they were low in the first place. B12 and folate also work together inside the methylation cycle. So if one is off, the other gets affected. This is not a supplement to take blindly based on symptoms. There are also different forms of B12, and the best form for you depends on your genetics, your nervous system, and your methylation capacity. This is exactly why I do not recommend taking isolated B12 long-term without looking at the rest of the B vitamins. B vitamins work as a family. When you push one too hard without the others, you can create imbalances and more symptoms. We'll get into this in a second. So, where should we put B12? We could put this in category B. B12 is so very important, but I think I'm actually going to put it in category C. I am a fan of not separating out the B vitamins and definitely prefer factoring in the other Bs for more of a B complex, but of course there always are caveats, which is so important to remember. Which brings us to number 9, a B complex. B vitamins are not energy pills. They are required for mitochondrial function, neurotransmitter production, hormone balance, and detox pathways. And I'm going to speak directly to the women listening right now, especially those who are currently on or who have ever used hormonal birth control. You need to hear this. Hormonal birth control depletes key nutrients, especially B6, B12, folate, and magnesium. So if you've ever been on the pill, the ring, the patch, there's a good chance you're running low in B vitamins, whether you realize it or not. Back when I worked in women's health, one of the biggest game changers I saw clinically was simply adding a well-formulated B complex. I am not exaggerating. This single change transformed so many women's lives. Women came in with anxiety, mood swings, PMS, depression, fatigue, hormone symptoms no one could explain, and they were dismissed, told it was just stress or you're just hormonal. Don't even get me started. They were depleted. And here's where people go wrong. They grab random bottles and piece things together. A little B12 here, a little B6 there, folic acid in a prenatal. Before they know it, they are supplement stacking without a plan. B vitamins do not work that way. They work as a family. They share pathways. Pushing one too hard without the other can cause problems. Write that down. Highlight it, underline it. This is why I often recommend a quality multivitamin that already includes a balanced complex. It's safer, more effective, and stops the chaos of trying to manage 5 different bottles. Now, I want to touch briefly on methylation because this is where people really get confused. Yes, I do prefer methylated B vitamins. They tend to be more bioavailable and better utilized by the body, but that does not mean everyone needs a megadose, and it doesn't mean just go grab the strongest formula you can find. I've shared a lot about my genetics on this show, so it won't be a surprise to hear I have 2 MTHFR variant and a COMT-AA genotype. B vitamins truly changed my life. They were a missing piece in my healing. I went from depressed, hormonally wrecked, barely functioning, to finally feeling like myself again. But I made the mistake a lot of people make. I thought if a little is good, more must be better. So I pushed methylation too hard. Over-methylation is real. It made me feel more anxious, overstimulated, wired. I could not calm down. That was my wake-up call. More is not better. Balanced is better. This is why B complex, we are going to put a B complex in the B tier. It can be incredibly helpful, especially for women or anyone who's been on birth control, but it has to be used with intention. When done right, it can be life-changing. Next on the list, vitamin D. Vitamin D is not just a vitamin, it functions like a hormone in the body, and it plays a massive role in immune regulation, mood, energy, and inflammation control. Deficiency is extremely common. I see it constantly in practice, and most people have no idea they're low until they test. Here's the problem. Most labs define normal vitamin D levels far too low. So people get told their levels are fine. when in reality, they are nowhere near optimal for immune health or inflammation control. Low vitamin D is also frequently associated with autoimmune disease, which makes this even more important to get right. If you're going to supplement, I typically recommend making sure it is vitamin D3, not the cheaper synthetic form of vitamin D2, and that one, I have not seen it raise levels effectively. Vitamin D does not work best by itself. There is another key nutrient that must be paired with vitamin D so it can do its job properly. We will get to that in just a little bit. Vitamin D testing is one I fully support. Recommend repeating the test at different times of the year. Another practitioner once said she would never recommend testing levels in the winter because of course they would be low. Sorry? So it's okay to be low for a chunk of the year? Makes no sense. Your needs change seasonally. Vitamin D is foundational. I do feel it belongs in the S tier, but we need to remember it is a fat-soluble vitamin, meaning you could take too much vitamin D. I've never seen this clinically. Number 11 on the list is vitamin C. Vitamin C is one of the most essential antioxidants in the body. It supports immune health, collagen production, adrenal function, and tissue repair. I believe that vitamin C should come from food first because it's so easy to do so. Colorful fruits and vegetables like bell peppers, citrus, berries, kiwi, and leafy greens are naturally rich in vitamin C. So it's more than just an orange, my friend. And when you get it from food, you also get the bioflavonoids and polyphenols that improve absorption and actually do more for your health than isolated ascorbic acid powder ever will. I am not against supplementation. I use it strategically when someone has higher demand, like during stress, illness, recovery, or part of a strategic treatment plan. But more is not necessarily better. You do not need mega doses unless there is a clinical reason. I feel vitamin C belongs in the A tier. Supplements should support what you are already doing, not replace it. Next on the list, glutathione. I have had patients tell me that glutathione changed their life. One gentleman with significant neurological symptoms once told me, "It felt like someone turned the lights back on in my brain." Glutathione is the body's master antioxidant. It protects your cells from oxidative stress, it supports mitochondrial health, and it plays a critical role in detoxification. Most people do not realize how big of a deal this is. We are exposed to more toxins today than at any other time in human history. Environmental toxins, chemicals, heavy metals, mold toxins, pesticides, plastics, even emotional stress creates oxidative stress inside the body. And here is something I see all the time when I run genetic testing. Many people have SNPs, genetic variations that impact glutathione production or recycling. I have several glutathione-related SNPs, including one gene that is actually deleted, meaning my body just doesn't have it. So my body has to work harder to keep up with oxidative stress. So when people ask me if glutathione matters, my answer is a solid yes. I believe most people would benefit from supporting this pathway. I am a fan of cycling supplements, meaning not taking the same ones every single day. When I stop glutathione, it is very obvious that my body really prefers having it on board. One of my main symptoms is nausea. I often feel off neurologically also. I know what it feels like to feel like I'm watching life through fogged glasses. If you want to go deeper on this one, I did a full 2-part series on glutathione, episodes 53 and 54 in the archives. Go flag those episodes for later. Quality matters. Not all glutathione is absorbed well. That's why I prefer liposomal glutathione. It is the most bioavailable form. There are also nutrients that help your body make more of its own glutathione. I am a huge fan of this. We're going to get into those precursors a little later when we reach another contender on this list. And for those of you who are wondering about your genetics, wishing you could understand more about your own body, friends,
I have an entire genetics program I don't think I've ever talked about, not even once on this show. If you're someone who wants to finally understand your DNA, how your genes impact your energy, mood, detox, hormones, there is a link in the show notes where you can find out more information about it.
I'm going to put glutathione in the A tier.
This is also something I feel you should notice a difference. If you're not noticing a difference, maybe you just don't need it. So that's something else to think about. Number 13, greens powders. Now, greens powders are not bad, but they're not magic. They are not a replacement for real food. If you're someone who struggles to get enough fruits and vegetables in your day, a high-quality greens powder can help fill some gaps. And I would rather see someone use one of these than do nothing. But it has to be part of a bigger foundation. You still need protein, minerals, and real fiber. I take greens powders myself, but I do not use it as a substitute for nutrition. I add it to a daily smoothie alongside nutrients that actually move the needle. There are so many different brands and ingredient combinations out there. I'm going to pop one on the screen right now. This is one I would not be able to take because it contains wheat. But not that wheat is bad for everyone, it just does not agree with my body. That being said, I feel this honestly deserves its own dedicated episode. If you want to break down which ingredients matter, how to choose a good greens powder, let me know and I will be happy to do that.
I'm going to put it in the C category. We'll just say C for convenient. I don't think it's bad, but it may not be essential.
Next up, Chastetree Berry. Chastetree Berry is also called Vitex. It's one of the most respected herbs in women's health. It's been used for centuries to support hormone balance, and it works by gently influencing communication between the brain and the ovaries. Studies suggest that Chastetree Berry can support healthy progesterone levels, which is why it is often used for symptoms like PMS, breast tenderness, cycle irregularity, spotting before a period. Herbs are powerful. Not only am I a plant-forward eater, I would say I eat mostly plants, but I am a huge fan of using herbs as medicine. We had Victoria Bledsoe on the show and dove deep into the power of plant medicine. I have advanced education as an herbalist, but she is an herbalist and one of the smartest plant women I know. I will link to that episode up in the card above. If you're just listening to the audio, that is episode 72. Here's the truth, my friends. Herbs can be so very helpful. I use them, a variety of different herbs, all the time. It is important to zoom out and not just look for a quick fix. We have to look at the root cause behind your symptoms. I tried Vitex years ago when I thought I was entering perimenopause. Of course, whoever really knows when they are entering perimenopause, since there is not a lab test for that. But for those of us with female parts, we kind of know. At that time, I did not notice much of a difference. Not because Vitex is ineffective, but because I was not supporting my foundation. I was not prioritizing sleep or nutrition. Remember, I was Dorito girl. When I dug deeper, I had through-the-roof estrogen dominance for a myriad of reasons. Chastetree Berry was not enough for me, and herbs take time. Most people give up too soon after just a couple of weeks, which is exactly what I did back then. When you do not know, you do not know. Herbal medicine requires consistency.
I'm going to place it in the B tier.
Number 15, CoQ10. CoQ10 is one of the most important nutrients for cellular energy. It lives inside your mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses in your cells, and its main job is to help produce ATP, your body's energy currency. If your CoQ10 levels are low, you will feel it. Fatigue, slow recovery, poor exercise tolerance, even accelerated aging at the cellular level. This is a core part of metabolic health, and most people have never been taught this. CoQ10 also plays a major role in cardiovascular health. Your heart has one of the highest energy demands in your body, and it requires CoQ10 to function well. Here is something that drives me crazy. Millions of people are prescribed statins. Spoiler alert, statins deplete CoQ10. I will say I have seen some more open-minded conventional cardiologists near me begin to prescribe CoQ10 to their patients taking a statin. That makes my soul happy. CoQ10 can decrease the risk of the all too familiar side effects of statins. Well, because they're not actually side effects, they are direct effects due to the nature of the drug. As a reminder, talk to your practitioner before starting or stopping anything. And of course, there is a full disclaimer in the show notes. I am not giving you medical advice, I am simply bringing you the science. There are two main forms of CoQ10, ubiquinone and ubiquinol. Your body has to convert ubiquinone into ubiquinol, so I prefer ubiquinol because it is more bioavailable. I pretty much always recommend the most biologically active form. I take CoQ10 because of my history of heart palpitations and to support energy production. I find it very helpful. This is something that can be tested. It's a simple blood test. I think of CoQ10 along the same lines as magnesium. Most of us probably do not have enough.
In my opinion, I feel CoQ10 belongs in the S tier.
Number 16, Adrenal Blend. It's about to get spicy up in here. Adrenal support is a real need, but in my humble opinion, adrenal blends are not the answer. These formulas are marketed as a one-stop solution for stress and burnout. If I had $1 for every person that said they just started an adrenal blend, but interestingly enough, none of them ever felt any better. That is not how human physiology works. You cannot out-supplement your life. If you're living in chronic stress, skipping meals, running on caffeine, waking up tired and wired at night, your problem is not a missing adrenal pill. Ask me how I know. No, seriously, ask me. Adaptogens are powerful, and that's what's in an adrenal blend, adaptogens. I use them in practice, and I believe in them, but they have to be used with intention. With these adrenal blends, they throw multiple herbs together, and while yes, herbs oftentimes work best together rather than isolated herbs, with these adrenal blends, some of these herbs have completely different effects on the body. Some are stimulating while some are calming, and when you mix all of them together without direction, your nervous system gets confused and you feel worse. Adrenal dysfunction requires change. I know no one really wants to change, but it is kind of a must. It requires regulating the nervous system. This is the perfect segue to bring you up to speed on my latest program, the Immune Reset Blueprint. This was carefully designed to address what is underneath immune system dysregulation, the nervous system. The curriculum is self-paced in bite-sized lessons you can actually finish. If you love the podcast and my style of teaching, you will surely love this too. To learn more and secure your spot, check the first pinned comment on YouTube, or the link is also in the show notes. A bottle cannot do your healing for you. This is why I'm actually not going to rank an adrenal blend. There is no way to categorize something so generic. Without context, without strategy. If you want to better understand cortisol and different stages of adrenal dysfunction, go deep into the archives, my friend. I did a 3-part series on cortisol, my most popular series to date. So no, adrenal blends are not going on the tier list. Sorry, friends. Number 17, Inositol. Inositol is one of the most underrated metabolic support supplements out there. Studies suggest it can be helpful with insulin sensitivity, ovarian health, and for those suffering with PCOS. But it's not just for women. It can support blood sugar regulation and metabolic health in men, too. I like inositol because it's gentle, well-tolerated, and addresses one of the biggest root drivers of hormone chaos, insulin resistance. But like everything else we've been talking about today, it is not a magic pill. It works best alongside real blood sugar strategy, protein-forward meals, minerals, fiber, and nervous system stability. There is a lot more to talk about with inositol, so if you want a dedicated deep dive episode on this, let me know in the comments. Actually, if there is a supplement on this list or not on this list that you want me to go deeper on, let me know. I am happy to do that.
I'm going to put inositol I think I'm going to put it on the B tier. I do feel it could be very helpful when used with intention.
Next on the list, selenium. Selenium is one of those supplements people oftentimes take because they heard it's good for the thyroid. Yes, selenium is important. It plays a key role in converting T4 into T3, the active thyroid hormone your cells actually use. Selenium also supports immune function, has antioxidant properties that protect cells from damage. Some research even suggests it may support cognitive health as we age. So it does matter. But where people oftentimes go, well, they oftentimes can get into trouble. Selenium is a micromineral. That means the difference between not enough and too much is a very small window. Too much selenium can actually make thyroid and autoimmune symptoms worse. I've seen this over and over again. Someone gets diagnosed with Hashimoto's, they join a Facebook group that tells them they need selenium. So then they go overboard. One woman told me she was eating handfuls of Brazil nuts like you would eat almonds every single day. That is no bueno. You can actually develop selenium toxicity. I'm a food first practitioner whenever possible, and selenium is a perfect example of that. You can get what you need from real food, like my patient was doing, but much less. 2 Brazil nuts a day, that's it. This will give you a safe maintenance dose of selenium without the risk of toxicity. I'm typically not a fan of having a multi with high levels of selenium for this reason. Why do we always think more is better?
I'm going to put selenium in the C tier. I do think it needs to be used with caution. I think it is overused. It is a very important nutrient, but I do think we need to use caution with it.
Number 19, melatonin. Melatonin is one of the most overused sleep supplements on the market. And here's what most people do not realize. Melatonin is not a sleep vitamin. It's actually a hormone. Your body makes melatonin naturally in response to darkness and circadian rhythms. So when someone tells me they cannot sleep without melatonin, what they're really telling me is that their circadian rhythm is a mess. This is not a melatonin deficiency problem. This is a rhythm problem. Now, I'm not against melatonin. I do use it strategically. I think it can be helpful for short-term use because the fact of the matter is that you need sleep. If someone is not sleeping, we will strategize to get them sleeping first with a Band-Aid approach and work on the why behind that concurrently. Melatonin can be helpful for those suffering with jet lag, when you travel, shift work, or during stressful seasons when sleep is disrupted. Tom, my husband, actually uses it occasionally and finds it helpful. Interestingly, melatonin is not just about sleep. It also has powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects. There is emerging research showing melatonin may play a protective role in hormone-sensitive cancers like breast cancer. And there are studies suggesting women working long-term night shifts who naturally produce less melatonin have a higher risk of breast cancer. Sleep is not just about beauty rest. This is biology. It's immune regulation, and it's also cancer protection. I am planning a full episode on melatonin and breast cancer. So if you do not want to miss that one, make sure you are subscribed. It is going to be a powerful conversation. Even with these potential benefits, melatonin still is not fixing the real problem behind why most people are supplementing with it. Can you guess what I'm going to say? It all comes back to your nervous system. Shout out to my immune reset blueprint once more. When I created it, I did so with your nervous system in mind. They are intricately connected. Well, we have one body, so everything is connected. If your nervous system is dysregulated, if your cortisol rhythm is flipped, if you are scrolling TikTok before bed with your face lit up like a stadium, no amount of melatonin is going to save you. Melatonin can be a tool, but the most important step is regulating your circadian rhythm. Morning light exposure, consistent meal timing, blood sugar stability, nervous system work, and sleep hygiene.
I'm going to place melatonin on the C tier.
Number 20, we're getting there, friends. Vitamin K2. Vitamin D increases calcium absorption, which is a very good thing. Vitamin K2 tells calcium where to go. Without K2, calcium can end up in the wrong places, like your arteries, kidneys, or joints, instead of your bones and teeth where it belongs. This is why I strongly do not recommend taking vitamin D by itself. Remember earlier I was alluding, this is not something to take alone. If you're supplementing vitamin D, you need K2 on board. The conventional medical world loves to talk about calcium for bone health. They even will get on board with recommending vitamin D, which is a great advancement. But they're silent on vitamin K2, which is the key that actually directs calcium into bone tissue. We do not have a calcium deficiency problem. We have a calcium misplacement problem. This is my opinion, of course, based on science. There are different forms of vitamin K2. The two most common are MK4 and MK7. MK4 is found in animal products. MK7 is found in fermented foods like natto and has a much longer half-life in the body. That's why I typically recommend MK7. It stays active longer and is the most researched when it comes to heart and bone health. You can get some K2 from food, things like egg yolks, grass-fed butter, beef liver, and fermented foods. But most people are still not getting enough consistently, which is why I love high-quality supplementation when it makes sense. And remember how earlier I told you the right multivitamin matters? This is another reason why. The one I recommend most often already has a balanced formula with methylated B vitamins, vitamin D3, and vitamin K2, MK7 together, which just makes sense. Smart supplementation saves money, simplifies your routine, and prevents supplement stacking.
I'm going to put it in the A tier. I do feel it is vitally important. What do you guys think about this tier list so far? Are you having fun with this? Are you finding it helpful? Are you finding it entertaining? Drop me a comment and let me know.
Number 21, calcium. For decades, we have been told we need to take calcium for strong bones, but that story is missing about 10 chapters of truth. Calcium does not build healthy bones by itself. It's a part of the team. You need protein, magnesium, vitamin D, and K2 together. You need resistance training, stable blood sugar, and hormones. Your bones are living tissue. They remodel based on your daily inputs, movement, nutrients, stress signals. So no, I'm not a fan of random calcium supplementation, especially not cheap carbonate tablets handed out like candy. Lazy medicine loves calcium. Smart medicine asks why the bones are weak in the first place. Can calcium supplementation have a place? Sure, in specific cases. If someone has extremely low intake from food or increased needs later in life, or is recovering from long-term nutrient depletion, a low-dose, well-formulated calcium supplement might be considered. But even then, never alone, always with K2, D3, and magnesium. I'm a food-first clinician, and calcium is easy enough to get from food for most people. Canned sardines with bones, bone-in salmon, tahini, sesame seeds, chia seeds, leafy greens, quality dairy if tolerated. Alas, dairy is not my friend, unfortunately. Food is where I start.
I'm going to put calcium in the D tier because I do feel it is misused and it can be potentially dangerous if we're not thinking about the other vitally important nutrients.
Number 22, we've got 5 left, my friend. 5. Let me take a sip. Are you hanging in with me? We've got this. Number 22, N-acetylcysteine. NAC, also known as N-acetylcysteine, is a precursor to glutathione. And if you've been in my world for more than 5 minutes, you already know how I feel about glutathione. It is the body's master antioxidant and one of the most important tools we can have against inflammation, toxins, and cellular damage. NAC helps your body make more glutathione naturally, which is kind of a big deal in today's world. We are exposed to oxidative stress every single day. Chemicals, mold, infections, heavy metals, processed foods, emotional stress. NAC helps buffer that stress. Studies have also shown it can be helpful for lung and respiratory health. It can assist with breaking down mucus and supports airway health. It is also a powerhouse for liver support. Do you know what you're given if you go into the ER with a Tylenol overdose? High doses of N-acetylcysteine. That is how important it is. We give it in the ER. NAC also has benefits for the thyroid. Hashimoto's and thyroid disorders are often driven by oxidative stress and inflammation inside the thyroid tissue. NAC can help lower that oxidative stress. There is no such thing as a thyroid supplement, but it can help while we're working on other things. NAC may also support mental health by helping balance glutamate in the brain. Too much glutamate can make you feel anxious, wired, irritated, or mentally chaotic. NAC may help bring calm and stability back to your nervous system.
I feel NAC has earned its spot in the A tier.
Number 23, iron. Iron deficiency is real and it matters. Globally, it is the most common deficiency and can be prevented. Low iron can have serious ramifications aside from making you feel exhausted and foggy. Excessive deficiency can cause shortness of breath, weakness, cognitive development issues, and even blindness. Here's the truth. No one should ever supplement iron blindly. Iron is not like magnesium or vitamin C. It is a pro-oxidant, which means the wrong dose can create inflammation and damage tissues. Too much iron literally rusts the body from the inside out. Iron deficiency can absolutely show up, especially if you're a woman with heavy cycles, postpartum, or someone following a vegetarian or vegan diet. Not because plant-based diets are bad. I am 95% vegan myself, but because plant-based iron, non-heme iron, is harder to absorb than animal-based iron, and we may not be consuming enough. So yes, iron may matter more in that case, but supplementation is never where I start. If we're going to talk about iron, we have to talk about testing. You do not just test serum iron and call it a day. You must look at ferritin, your iron storage, and a plethora of other labs to know what is really going on in there. Because low ferritin does not always mean you need more iron. Sometimes it means you have gut issues, or low stomach acid, or inflammation that is blocking iron absorption. If you do not fix those root causes, you can supplement iron all day long and still feel terrible. You also need iron for proper thyroid function. Low ferritin reduces conversion of T4 to T3. Remember, T3 is your active thyroid hormone. So if you have fatigue and thyroid symptoms and you only look at your TSH, you're already missing part of the story. Food first is always a smart strategy. You can raise iron naturally with grass-fed bison, that is one of my favorites, beef, lentils, another one of my absolute favorite ways of increasing iron. I have a recipe on my website, my cooking website, Dining with Tara, for a lentil soup to die for, or actually to live for. I will link it up in the show notes. Highly recommend. It is on repeat here in my house. Blackstrap molasses, pumpkin seeds, another great source, and pairing iron-rich foods with vitamin C dramatically improves absorption. Another reason why I love nutrition counseling with my patients and clients, because there is usually more to the story.
Iron is going in the B tier. When you need it, you definitely need it, but when you don't, it can actually make things worse.
3 left, my friends. Number 24, probiotics. There was something sneaking over here. Let me show you.
Oh my goodness, I actually have the Adrenal Blend as one of the options here. Remember I said we're not going to score this? I have no idea how to delete this from the bottom of the list, so I do apologize about that. I did say this was my first time.
Just so you know how much I love you, you're seeing this at your time, but I actually already finished this episode. That's right, I already got through the rest of the list and noticed that my battery died, except I didn't notice it until afterwards. I love you guys that much. I am willing to sit and sacrifice and redo it because it is that important. It is worth it. So, if you appreciate that, can I have a thumbs up? If you're just listening to the audio, can you share this episode with a friend, somebody that you know is interested in learning more about these kinds of things with a little bit of spice? Next up on the list, number 24, probiotics. Probiotics are one of the most overbought supplements on the market. Most people think they need a probiotic because they heard it's good for gut health, but gut health is not as simple as take a probiotic and fix your stomach. Your gut is an ecosystem, and dropping in random bacteria without a plan does not rebuild an ecosystem. That being said, probiotics can be helpful, but like everything else in the supplement world, they have to be used with intention. Different strains do different things. Some support the immune system, some help with constipation or diarrhea. Some support mood and the gut-brain connection. There is some captivating science in that department, and some do absolutely nothing for the issue you are trying to fix. Quality matters. Those drugstore probiotics with 50 billion CFUs on the label, if they are not delivering the right strains, that number means nothing. And are they even potent? Here's where I start with most people. Not a pill. Can you guess? Food. Fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, kefir, and coconut yogurt naturally feed the gut and introduce beneficial bacteria in a gentle, intelligent way. My favorite way is a homemade sauerkraut. I eat about 1 cup a day most of the time. It is so good. Mine has red cabbage, beets, carrots, ginger. So good. If someone still needs more support or they just don't like fermented foods, then a targeted probiotic can make sense. Spore-based strains can be helpful for resilience. Lactobacillus and bifido strains can support digestion and mood. Saccharomyces boulardii, which is actually a yeast, not a bacteria, is one of my favorites to recommend, especially for my female friends with frequent yeast or urinary tract infections. But probiotics may not be the right answer for everyone. If someone has significant bloating, SIBO, or histamine intolerance, jumping straight to probiotics can actually make things worse. Probiotics are going in the B tier. All right, friends, I do believe I saved the best, or at least the spiciest of the bunch, for last. DIM, diinodilomethane. What the heck? Yeah, that is a mouthful if I even pronounced it right. Friends, if you know me, it's not the easiest for me to pronounce some things. The short of it is that many practitioners in the functional medicine space are advocates of blindly recommending this product to their female clients for estrogen dominance. Studies have shown that taking DIM can impact how estrogen is metabolized in phase 1 of detoxification. The 30,000-foot view answer would be if you have too much estrogen, take DIM. But what if you have a genetic polymorphism of CYP1B1, like I do? What if you're already sending your estrogen down the carcinogenic 4-hydroxy pathway? That pathway has been shown to increase your risk of hormone-driven cancers like breast and uterine and even prostate cancer. How safe is it to blindly recommend the supplement without knowing which pathway your body prefers? You already know I am a genetics nerd, and I highly recommend checking out the link in the show notes if you want to better understand your DNA and navigate your own health journey more wisely. When I learned this, oh my goodness, the number of women I saw taking DIM who had the CYP1B1 variant was staggering. This absolutely gets added to your matrix if you're a patient or client of mine. You may be like, 4-hydro what? Estrogen can move down 3 primary pathways. The 2-hydroxy pathway, considered protective, the 16-hydroxy pathway, which is more proliferative, may be good for bones, but not so great for breast tissue, and the 4-hydroxy pathway, the one we really need to pay attention to, the carcinogenic pathway, because this is the pathway linked to DNA adduct formation and increased cancer risk. And here is where DIM gets risky. DIM can upregulate an enzyme called CYP1B1. CYP1B1 pushes estrogen towards the 4-hydroxy pathway, and that 4-hydroxy pathway forms reactive estrogen quinones. These quinones can bind to DNA, creating DNA adducts and damaged cells. Plus, when we have DNA adducts, our immune system notices. Our bodies are miraculous, constantly scanning the terrain, looking for things that do not belong. I believe this can perpetuate immune system confusion, especially for those of us predisposed to autoimmunity. This is why I do not recommend DIM blindly, especially not to every woman who thinks she has estrogen dominance. Because here's another truth bomb. Not every woman who thinks she has estrogen dominance actually does. Many are simply estrogen sluggish, not estrogen toxic. Some are actually low estrogen, and DIM can make them feel worse, anxious, depressed, fatigued, flat. If you are not supporting phase 2 detox, methylation, and glutathione pathways, DIM is not your friend. If your bowels are not moving daily, DIM is not your friend. And if your liver and gut are overloaded, DIM is definitely not your friend. There are other ways to support healthy estrogen metabolism. Drum roll, please. First up at bat, cruciferous vegetables. Ah, yes, our Brussels, cauliflower, asparagus, beets, arugula, radish, broccoli. This is not an exhaustive list, my friends. Cruciferous vegetables are powerhouses at assisting with phase 2 liver detoxification, one of the biggest reasons why I eat cups and cups of cruciferous vegetables every single day. Then we need to think about magnesium, fiber, bile flow support, and good old-fashioned liver support. These are foundational strategies. Frankly, I have never recommended DIM because there are other ways.
I'm putting DIM in the D category. I don't believe that it's useless, but I do believe we are recommending it recklessly. Supplements can absolutely impact the body, and we need to cast a wider net.
But the truth is, they are meant to support your lifestyle, not replace it. You do not build health by collecting bottles. You build health by correcting what is driving dysfunction. If you want to see the supplement brands I actually trust, I will drop my Fullscript link below. You will get access to practitioner quality formulas instead of mystery bottles from the internet. So now I want to hear from you.
Do you agree or disagree with my choices of where they fall on the tier? Let me know. Or did I miss a supplement? Let me know.
And if you have not seen my video on cancer and whether it's really just about genetics, it is a must watch. I put it up right over here and I will meet you over there. Bye, friends.